The planet that dreams back. Part 1. Awakening in the dust. You wake to the sound of nothing. No alarms, no voices, no wind. Only the soft weight of dust settling on metal. You are in your ship, half buried in a field of pale blue sand. The cockpit glass is fractured, but intact. Light leaks in from a sky you do not recognize. Not stars, but a wash of violet haze, like a bruise stretched across the atmosphere. You do not remember crashing. You remember silence, a pressure in your chest, a name you meant to say before you fell asleep. The ship's AI is offline. Life support is running on reserve. The oxygen timer glows softly. 72 hours. You release your harness and push open the hatch. The sand resists, then yields. Outside, a world that hums without sound. Smooth hills ripple like slow ocean waves. Crystals grow from the ground like frozen lightning bolts. A single tree, silver and leafless, rises in the distance, its branches swaying with a wind you cannot feel. And then you feel it. The planet is watching you, not with eyes, not with malice, but with attention. You breathe. The air is thin but breathable. The oxygen timer begins to matter less. You take your first step. The sand does not crunch. It sighs. And you walk, not toward the tree, but toward the feeling pulling gently at your ribs. Like memory. Like home. Part 2. The Garden of Regret. You walk for hours, though the light never changes. There is no sun in the violet sky, just the same soft hue, as if the planet is unsure whether it is day or night. The terrain shifts as you move. What was once smooth sand begins to sprout small structures. Not buildings, but formations. Stones shaped like kneeling figures. Ribbons of silver light that drift just above the ground, curling like smoke that forgot to rise. And flowers, translucent and still, growing in perfect circles. Each flower is different. Some glow faintly, some pulse. One wilts the moment you look directly at it. You step into the field of them, drawn by a sensation behind your ribs. And then it hits you. A memory. Not a clear one. Not a sharp vision, but a weight. A time you said nothing when you should have spoken. A face you forgot too soon. A promise you let slip. And now here it is, blooming. You kneel beside a wide, flat blossom that mirrors the shape of your hand. When you touch it, it turns black. Not in decay, but in acknowledgement. A soft wind rises. It sounds almost like your voice, saying something you never got to say. You close your eyes, and for the first time since the crash, you let the memory unfold. Not to change it, just to see it clearly. When you open your eyes again, the flower is gone. But the ache in your chest has softened. The field behind you is no longer full. The planet has taken the regret, not to erase it, but to keep it for you. You rise and keep walking. Part 3. The Mirror Lake. The land begins to dip. You descend into a shallow valley where the air feels heavier. Not dangerous, but dense, like walking through memory foam. And then you see it, a lake with no ripples. It isn't water, not quite. Just something still, wide and reflective. You kneel beside it. It reflects the sky. And something else. Your face, yes, but younger. Or older. Or just slightly not you. Your expression in the water is not the one you're wearing now. It's sad. Peacefully sad. Like someone who has made peace with something unspoken. You lean closer, and the surface bends toward you, like it wants to meet you halfway. And you hear something. Not a voice, not a sound, but a thought, not your own. We do not show what is. We show what you bring. You blink. The reflection has changed. Now it shows you asleep. Inside your ship. Someone sits beside you. Their hand on yours. You cannot see their face. You lean closer. And the lake retracts, slightly, like a cat pulling away just before you touch its fur. You realize this lake doesn't want to show you the future or the past. It wants to show you what you've hidden. You sit back. The lake slowly returns to perfect stillness. You say nothing, but the planet hears you anyway. And the lake remains, not as a mirror, but as a witness. You leave it behind, and the path ahead begins to rise. Part 4. The staircase of names. The path tilts upward, not steep, but deliberate, like the planet wants you to rise, slowly. At the top of the ridge you see it, a staircase, carved into the side of a hill that shouldn't exist. Each step is etched with something. Not symbols, not letters, but impressions. Like someone whispered into stone. You place your foot on the first one. You feel a name. Not spoken, not written, just known. It's not your name. But it belongs to someone you once loved, or might have loved, had things gone differently. As you climb, each step offers another name. People you've forgotten. People who've forgotten you. People who never existed but might have. The weight is strange, not heavy, but vast. Like carrying a constellation inside your chest. Halfway up, you pause. You whisper a name aloud. One that isn't yours. The planet responds. The dust rises gently. The wind stills. And then just above you, a flicker. Like static made of light. A doorway that isn't there, but also is. You take one more step, and then suddenly, you're at the top. There was no last step, only the arrival at a field of glass and sky that begins to hum. Part 5. The memory storm. You stand at the edge of a wide glassy plain. It doesn't reflect, it remembers. Each time you blink, the ground beneath your feet flickers. A new place, a new echo. You see, the hallway of your childhood home, a station corridor flooded in orange light, a blue hallway that hums a song you never learned. You take a step, and the flickering spreads, like a storm made not of clouds, but of memory. The air begins to thrum, not loud, but close. The sky pulses, not with lightning, but with thought. You fall to your knees, not from pain, but from feeling too much all at once. The planet is opening, not violently, just fully. And you are inside it now. Not physically, but in some thread it pulled from your chest when you weren't looking. Above you, the violet haze curls and spirals. You hear laughter, yours, but also someone else's. A voice you loved once, or will love. You whisper, enough. The storm obeys, the air clears, and the planet goes quiet again. Not silenced, just resting, waiting. And when you rise, the plane is gone. In its place, a single doorway. Not futuristic, not ancient. Just a door made of soft light, half open in the middle of nothing. It's waiting. Part 6. The place between doors. You step through, and the world does not change. Not at first. The light from the door closes behind you like a breath returning to its lungs. You are somewhere soft. There are no walls, no sky, no floor. Just space that feels padded by thought. The silence here is alive, not empty, but listening. And then in front of you appears a table, wooden, smooth, familiar. There is a single object resting on it, a journal. You touch it. The cover is warm, not hot, not glowing, just familiar in a way you cannot explain. You open it. There are no written words, only pages filled with texture. One feels like the night you lost your voice, arguing with someone you loved. Another smells like the wind from a cliffside on a world you can't name. One hums softly, a hum you heard from your mother's coat when she thought you were asleep. It is your life, not told, but stored. And then you reach the last page. It's blank, until you look closer. At the bottom corner, 3 words appear, in a script made from nothing more than shadow and heat. Do you stay? You do not speak, but the room knows your answer. The journal closes itself, and a second door opens behind you, identical to the first. You walk toward it, but you do not leave yet, because you must choose. And choices require remembering who you are. Part 7. The choice that isn't a choice. You stand at the edge of the second door. It does not pull. It does not push. It simply waits. Behind it, a feeling, not a destination. Return to what you don't know. The ship. The life before this. You glance behind you. The journal is gone. The room is gone. Only your breath remains, and even that feels borrowed. The planet is quiet again, not because it has nothing to say, but because it's giving you space. You realize the question it asked. Do you stay? Wasn't about this moment. It was about every moment. All of them. The decision was never about walking forward or staying behind. It was about letting go of the guilt, the weight, the idea that something broken has to be fixed. You sit down, cross-legged like a child, palms open to the air, and you breathe. Once, twice, again. And in that breath, the planet offers something small. A pulse, a bloom. A tiny vine of silver threads spirals from the floor and touches your fingertips. It hums. Not a song. A memory. Yours, but brighter than when you lived it. A hand held for too long. A laugh that felt like rescue. A goodbye that finally meant peace. You do not cry, but something inside you lets go of crying, and that is more powerful. The vine retracts, and the door opens completely. Part 8. The planet that dreams back. You step through, not forward, not really, because there is no direction anymore. There is only becoming. The world that greets you is not new. It's the same pale blue sand, the violet sky, the silver tree. But it feels different now. It doesn't shift around you. It shifts with you. The tree bends slightly as you approach, its branches curling downward in a gesture that is not bowing, but welcoming. You touch its bark. It's cool, it's real, and it recognizes you from somewhere deeper than memory. You turn to look back. The doorway is gone. There is no trace of your footprints. Your ship remains where it crashed, half buried in the sand. A relic. A beginning. A chapter that no longer needs to be opened. And still, you do not feel lost. You feel placed. Here, in this strange, listening world, you are not a visitor. You are a thought the planet once had and forgot. Until now. A humming begins in the earth below. Faint, steady, alive. You hear 1,000 voices. None of them speak. They are remembering. Not stories, not events, but you. And the dream they were always meant to finish. You sit beneath the tree, and the planet sighs, as if it too has been holding its breath until this moment. You rest your hand on the sand. It pulses back once, gentle and sure. And for the first time since you arrived, you know. You are exactly where you were always meant to be. Not found, not saved. Just part of the dream, and the dream dreams on.